Hi, this is Lori, and welcome to part 5 of the SunFounder PiCar kit. We're going to do the video streaming application that SunFounder put together. I was able to get it to work. I wasn't very lucky with the controls on the screen, but I could use the controls on my laptop to move the car around, and so I consider that a success. So we'll go ahead and do that in this episode. I haven't decided whether I'm going to make more episodes. There's the ball tracker program, and I am thinking about giving that a try. I might make a part 6 to show that one. And I am thinking about just doing some basic programming of the car, making it go forward, backward, that kind of thing. But looking around at the code, finding out, what pins control everything in terms of the Raspberry Pi and the drivers that they set up for their specialized boards. It's a little tricky, and I've been spending a lot of time digging in to find things. So yeah, I'm not sure I want to spend a lot more time because I have some other robots that I think have more potential, and I'd rather spend more time on. So I just hated that I got this kit a long time ago and didn't ever put it completely together and finish it. So I feel like with part 5, I finished it and I did get it to operate the way it was supposed to. So that's what we're going to do now, and we'll see how it goes from here. So as you're debugging, one of the things I did find as I was digging through the SunFounder code was I found that there is a little bit more that you can do to check out your PiCar, and it was the same commands that we use to set the servos. So when I found this piece of code here in the PiCar repository, this init py, I saw that there were some commands, and the servo install was the one we used to get the 90 degrees, but there was also this front wheel test and rear wheel test. So if we're SSH'd into our car and we do PiCar front wheel test, we should see the servos working to turn everything. And then we can Control C out of that. It just keeps going for forever. And then the other one is the rear wheel. It would be good if I could spell. So those are useful, and I would definitely recommend having them handy as you before you start the server for the video stream. You can just test out the function of the car and see if it's running well. Okay, I guess we're ready to give this a go. And I have the Raspberry Pi, everything's turned on, and everything's running from the battery right now. So we'll see. I was asked how long is this thing going to run on these batteries. I honestly don't know. I did play with it for about 15 minutes or so already, and I have not recharged the battery. So to make this video, I turned it all back on again, and it seems to still be powered well. But if we run into problems, I'll know I'll need to stop and charge the batteries and make this video again. So I'm kind of hoping it will last another 10 or 15 minutes here. So that's working. And now when I first tried to do this, I ran into a couple issues, and one was just, kind of my own fault. The circuit, and when I looked at it, everything looked fine. All the wires seemed to be going, but the servos weren't responding. So I went back and re-looked at all the wires, and then a couple of these wires back here had popped out of the little connector there, and I pushed them back in, and then everything started working. So that was good. The other thing that didn't work really well when I first tried to use this was and I mentioned this in part 4, was I needed to do some sanding of the little holes that the wheels here in the front fit in, and the little notches that go into those holes. And you'll know what I mean if you're building this yourself. So I sanded it, and I didn't talk about how I got about sanding it in part 4, but I have like, let's see if I much of my monitor here. Yeah, I have a little set of files here, and some of them are rounded and some are flat, and they're useful for doing things like that. So yeah, that's like a rounded one. So I use that in the hole to kind of widen up the hole just a little bit. Didn't take much sanding, but it did take a little bit, and now it freely moves. So you just want to make sure that the front end will freely move. The tires, if anything's over tightened, the tilt, if where you tightened on the tilt mechanism, the pan and tilt mechanism, anything that might be tight, if the servo sounds like it's trying to move it and it can't, you may need to loosen the connection to that, loosen the bolts a little bit, screws a little bit, and you might need to do a little sanding like I did to kind of get the car to move smoothly. Okay, so it's time to SSH in here and start the server running on the Raspberry Pi. So we'll go ahead and do that. This is the IP address that it should be on. There we go. Got in there, and so this is the code we need to do to start the server running. So I'm gonna copy that over bit by bit. And I'm not sure I have to run this statement again. Maybe I do. Yeah, I think once it did it once, it doesn't necessarily need to do that again. But let's see. And that should start the server running. All right, it says no issues detected. All right, so I think the server's running here, and then I think our next step is to get it started on our PC. So let's open up another window, and we will. I want to remember this little format of that. We need to put our IP address in here, so that would be 192.168, and then that should hopefully get us to the car. Oh, I mistyped that. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. Yeah, it happens pretty quickly. All right, so you guys can see this is, I'm going to pause over here and just turn off that so we don't have it in the way anymore. And we can see this. And so down here at the bottom, there's a little button that says Let's Rock. So I'm going to click on that. There we go. Hey, you can see me. There we are. All right. So let's, I'm going to press, so I'm using the WASD to move around. So if I press the W, the back and forth, and then let's try left and right. So that looks good. And then to control the pan and tilt, we can use the arrow keys. So there we go. Oh, you can see me a little bit. And looking down. And we'll pan it around, pan it back. The one thing I'll say is that I did have to come in here and adjust the focus of the camera. It was pretty bad when I first got it. It's nothing special, but it's not bad at all. So next, I'll put it down on the ground, and maybe we can watch it move around. All right, let's try to get this car moving here. Got it down on the ground, as you can see. Oh, that was reverse. There it goes. Okay, we're gonna try to turn a little bit. Well, turn. All right. There we go. I'm having a hard time navigating here. All right. Not the easiest thing in the world to all right, there it goes. It's heading out into my living room. Oop. Ran into the door here. All right, let's see if we can to turn around and kind of come back. Going past the kitty litter there. There it comes. All right, well, I think that's a pretty good demo. Well, we got the PiCar working. We got the video streaming going. Couldn't get the buttons on the web page to drive the car, but I could drive it from the keyboard. So that part worked. And as I said at the beginning, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to spend more time on this car at this point. I have several other projects I'd like to do, and I feel like I've spent enough time on the PiCar, and I'm just happy that I got it going and got it working. So there might be a part 6 some point in the future. We'll see. But with that, I'd like to say thanks for joining me on this journey and building the PiCar and getting it going. And as always, thank you for watching.